Welcome to this episode on routines and expectations. In the next 10 minutes, we're going to cover 5 key routines that will improve learning outcomes in your classroom through supporting behaviour for learning within your students. So let's get started. Well, why does it matter? Well, routines are predictable procedures. They are not rules, they are not discipline. They anchor your students in the actions that it takes to learn. Expectations are the standard of behaviour, or basically the actions that your students need to take in order to support the process of learning. Now, routines and expectations improve student focus because they know exactly what to do. This brings about stability and lowers stress and anxiety because students don't worry about what will happen. They know exactly what to do, when, where, and how. You see, it reduces uncertainty in the classroom and allows us to promote efficiency. You see, time isn't wasted by students being confused and exhibiting negative behaviour because they don't know what to do. It allows students to be independent and self manage during this process, leading to smooth transitions in the classroom and less disruption. Now, we want to just start by saying that the golden rule here is for you to be consistent. But consistent isn't rigidity, it's about you being reliable. Students always knowing that you are going to put into place a routine that will support them. This allows them to trust and respect you. But remember, be flexible, be fair, as well as being consistent. Ask the students to help you design the routines as well as providing feedback on how those routines may be adjusted. Nothing is ever perfect. Now, when it comes down to establishing routines and expectations, you've got to be clear and specific. Don't leave any room for ambiguity. Communicate these clearly, and we'll look at some methods of communication: verbal, written, printed, electronic. Model those expectations yourself. Show them what good looks like. And remember, consistency and equal treatment for all. Give students feedback when they're modeling positive behaviour. This will reinforce it. And make sure you've got that buy-in. By helping you to design them, they'll be bought in. By giving you feedback and helping you to adjust them, you'll have buy-in. And finally, before we get into the 6, the importance of building trust and respect with your students should not be underestimated. You've got to value their effort and participation as well as achievement. You've got to show them that every one of them matters and that you hear, you connect, and you act on their voice. You've got to welcome that diversity because all students have differing opinions, and make sure that that climate is safe for risk taking, that students feel like they can try, and that participation and effort is valued equally as much, and then they'll feel encouraged. Now, there are always going to be challenges when you're introducing, establishing, or changing routines. So allow for adjustment time. Don't expect it to be perfect straight away. Address the fact that students are going to react at a varied level and be supportive to everybody as an individual. Communicate not just with the parents, but with the students and with teachers and anybody who may be impacted by these routines and expectations. And remember, stay flexible. Consistency and flexibility are not the same. So we're going to look at 6 key routines and expectations. We're going to look at 6 key things that we think are important when it comes down to improving behaviour for learning, therefore learning outcomes. The first is lesson structure and transition. Now, your lessons need to have a clear structure, and students need to know what role they'll play within the flow of this structure. When you open, make sure you've got your learning outcomes. Make sure that students understand the role they'll play and the activities you're going to do with them. Make sure they understand the key terminology. As you develop the lesson, guide support throughout during your monitoring. And at the end, consolidate what they've done. Link it with the past learning, present learning, and future learning. And as you close out, make sure they know what they're going to be doing next and give time for that all important homework setting. You see, when you have a routine, that is what they're going to do. The expectation is how they're going to do it, and the action's about what they're going to take. So the same goes for transitions. Make sure that you signal when it's time for a transition. You can use many different things like countdowns, timers, music. Vary this. And students will then move more quickly and calmly. Praise these transitions. Second, we've got active learning. Now, always expect your students to participate and contribute constructively and evenly. When you use group projects, peer teaching, problem solving experiments, vary the technique you're using. Make sure that you're handing out roles and responsibilities, that you're scaffolding and guiding them through the active learning process. Remember, gradually release that responsibility to them. Don't expect them to be able to actively learn straight away. It's a skill. Next is discussion and questioning. Now, when you're having a group discussion, make sure you assign those group roles, rotate responsibilities, use clear processes that the students understand. You should expect them to contribute respectfully and equally. So model what effective collaboration looks like, monitor participation, give feedback, rotate responsibility, and assign group roles. Start small and build your way up. Complex discussions can happen once students have developed those skills. The same with questioning. Rotate the type of questioning you use. Think per share, cold calling, signaling. Provide them with question stems or sentence starters that may well help, or key terminology. Try to keep and ensure there is a good pace to question and answer, but give them time to respond. Some people's cognitive processing time takes a little bit longer. So be fair and make sure it's not a free for all and that everybody's contributing. Number 4, feedback. Now, when it comes down to feedback, make sure your feedback sessions are scheduled. When you give students an assignment, make sure they know when they need to be ready to receive feedback and what to do with that feedback. We find that if you, when setting the assignment, make the rubrics clear, students will then know when taking feedback how to respond to it because they knew exactly what they needed to do in the first place. Then we have homework. Homework is very difficult with students at times, so make sure that they know the time and date that it needs to be handed in by. Make sure they know how it connects with the current work they're doing and the future work that they will do. Put it on homework boards, online platforms. Make sure that they have a rubric so they know how it's going to be marked. Guide the students and let them know how and when they're going to be receiving feedback. And finally, clean up. All students should leave your classroom tidy and be respectful of the learning environment. So give everybody roles, but expect everybody to contribute. Make this a start, a middle, and an end of classroom process. Help students to co-design with you if you have issues such as the classroom being left dirty on arrival. Reinforce that accountability and shared ownership are key. So as we end this, let's consider behaviour for learning. Routines are important. You've got to set those expectations and link them to academic success. Expect that students regulate themselves, engage positively, and respect each other. And ultimately, you and students need to be proactive, support, and promote. So, to end, what are the key principles? Well, consistency, Clarity, flexibility, trust, student voice, and a focus on learning are absolutely key if you are going to successfully introduce routines and expectations in your classroom, therefore improve your learning outcomes. Thanks for joining us for this 10-minute look at routines and expectations and how they can improve learning outcomes in your classroom. We look forward to seeing you for the next session.